Let's put your eye to the test. One of these was written by me, yours truly. The other two were written by AI. Which one is real? Take a second, actually look at them. I will wait. I'm gonna guess that you picked B. Good, you've trained your eye. We have all felt the shift, right? The internet is becoming inauthentic. You're over it, I'm over it. Your audience, customers, and clients are over it. And the platforms that you're posting on, also over it. The thing is that nobody has made the rulebook yet. So I am deeming us responsible for the complete overhaul of online content. Whoa. No pressure. We're gonna go over some really clear signals worth paying attention to and build a list of 12 concrete rules that we all need to start following. What to do, what to stop doing, and what to watch out for. I'm also gonna show you exactly how to use AI to make sure that you're staying authentic. Sounds counterintuitive, I know, but stick with me. I've linked a free Authentic AI content creation guide in the description that goes deeper on all of the tools and frameworks behind everything we're covering today. There are a few different formulas in there that are genuinely useful, so I will flag them on screen as we go so you know exactly when to use them. By the end of this video, you will have the advantage in your industry. You're gonna know exactly how to keep your brand visible while you watch the other brands creating inauthentic content get penalized into oblivion. Again, no pressure. In 2025, 74% of new content published online was written using AI. And that stat is from a year ago, so it's only gone up from there. We have finally got to the point where nobody is letting this slide anymore. This year alone, the 5 biggest social platforms have all updated their algorithms to crack down on inauthentic and recycled content. This is a good thing, and it brings us to rule 1. Don't fight the algorithm, work with it. If your strategy is based on reposting and recycling, Instagram and Facebook will no longer recommend your content unless it falls under their definition of original. YouTube is actively filtering what they're calling AI slop. TikTok is downranking AI-generated videos, and LinkedIn explicitly penalizes content copy and pasted from AI tools. So if the platforms are only rewarding original content, the first thing that we need to do to work with the algorithm is make sure nothing leaves your hands without a human in it. So, rule 2, from here on out, never hit publish on anything that came straight out of an AI tool unedited. You want to use AI to structure, organize, and scale, but your voice, your opinion, and your examples need to go in before it goes out. Now, what does each platform actually consider original? Instagram's own definition is really useful here. Your content needs to reflect your creative vision. It needs to add something, unique context, a real opinion, new information. So a screenshot with a caption doesn't qualify, but your take on someone else's data, that does. The through line across every single platform update is the same. They are rewarding a detectable human. So that brings us to rule 3. You need to create content that could have only come from you. We're talking real perspectives, real opinions, real voices, real context. Your audience should feel something. That is the standard we're building toward. But things are moving fast now, and the only way that we're going to keep up with this is by following rule 4. Always watch for new platform algorithm updates and follow them. A few ways to stay on top of this. Find one good marketing newsletter. They'll cover updates as they drop. Follow the official creator accounts for each platform, like Instagram's @creators, YouTube's @teamYouTube, or LinkedIn's official blog. Or honestly, just ask your favorite AI tool if any platforms have upgraded their algorithms in the last 7 days. And subscribe to this channel, HubSpot Marketing. We cover this stuff every week, so you don't have to go looking for it. So we know the platforms aren't having it anymore, so let's look at what your audience actually thinks about AI-generated content, because they're not having it either, and that is the real cost. I messaged a brand a few weeks ago and got back the most polite, well-structured, completely unhelpful response I have ever read. Ew. It was so clearly a bot that I didn't even reply. I just went to a competitor. So they lost that sale in under 30 seconds. So rule 5 is a big one. Never underestimate your audience's instincts. Their spidey senses are tingling when you use AI. The more optimized your content looks, the less human it feels. And when it doesn't feel human, people don't complain. They just quietly stop engaging and go looking elsewhere. So, to build that trust, follow Rule 6. Don't publish content that could have been written by any brand in your industry. Run the logo swap test. Super simple. Before you publish a piece of content, swap your logo for a competitor's. If it still makes sense coming from them, it's not unique enough. 52% of marketers say that AI has made content easier to create, but less effective overall. So that gap, easier to make, harder to land, is a trust gap. Your audience isn't rejecting AI, they're rejecting content that feels like nobody cared enough to actually make it for them. And once that trust is gone, it is almost impossible to win back. So, to avoid that, follow Rule 7. Before you hit publish on anything, ask yourself, does this sound like something a real person wrote for a real person? We're talking one specific person, not a general audience. Surprisingly, the more specific it feels, the more universal it lands. Who knew? Now the thing is, you won't feel this until it's already happening. Trust erosion is silent. You're not going to see it coming in your dashboard, but in 6 months, you'll feel it in your pipeline. So you want to catch it early by following Rule 8. Check your trust signals monthly. Once a month, pull your last 30 days of trust signals and drop them into an AI tool. We're talking real engagement metrics like email opens and replies, post saves and shares, returning visitors. Ask, are there any downward trends that could indicate a trust or authenticity problem with my content? And if you're a HubSpot user, Breeze can surface these trends automatically and flag the drop so that you don't have to go looking for it. So we know the platforms aren't having it, we know your audience isn't having it, but there's a third thing happening right now that could damage your brand's credibility overnight. And most marketers have absolutely no idea that it's coming. I'm gonna ask you a really uncomfortable question. If someone deepfaked you, your CEO, or your brand's top creator right now, would your audience be able to tell? I follow 2 creators who in the last 2 months have both had their content stolen by brands they had zero affiliation with. One was the creator's original video, but her voice and her mouth movements were dubbed.
A couple of weeks back, I discovered that someone had been selling deep fake UGC videos of me on Fiverr for $8.
And messaging your audience truly believes.
This is what I've always been worried about.
The other had a part of her organic video used and her voice cloned into a voiceover.
I have had a company steal my voice and my likeness, and they are running ads that are live right now. You guys have given me a lot of ideas, so I wanted to share them here. There are so many remote jobs on Remote Jobs Finder. You can work from anywhere in the world. 7 seconds of that video is from a video that I posted on my page on January 19th. When it goes into the voiceover part, that voice sounds like me, but it's not me.
Neither of them knew until their audience told them. This isn't a distant future problem. It is happening right now. And it's not just the big creators, it's marketers, founders, and spokespeople at companies just like yours. Your audience is already developing a new layer of skepticism. It's not just, does this feel AI generated anymore? It's, is this the person I think it is? And to be honest, there's not a lot of solutions yet. It is genuinely scary. The best protection you have right now is Rule 9, build a voice so consistent and specific that your audience knows when something's off. Same tone, same point of view, same level of specificity every single time. Your audience's trust moves faster than any AI detection tool. To stay ahead, you need to follow Rule 10 and start implementing everything right now. The brands who build a real voice now will be the ones that people defend when something looks fake. The brands who don't, their audience won't know what to believe. Okay, let me get this straight. The platforms are penalizing inauthentic content, our audience is leaving because of it, and deepfakes are making trust the most important currency in marketing. Woof, am I right? Yeah, but take a breath, because all of these signals point to the same solution, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to implement it for your brand. First things first, stop asking, what should we post? And start asking, what do we have to say? Because there's a big difference between content that fills a slot and content that has something behind it. The solution here is simple. You need to fix your starting point by following Rule 11. Have one real human-generated idea before you open a single AI tool. Then you're going to use that idea to build one piece of hub content. A real take, a real story, a real system, something that could have only come from you or your team's brain. And we're talking no AI for this part. Crazy concept, I know. The hub can be any format. Think a YouTube video, a podcast episode, a newsletter, a downloadable guide. Once that's produced, everything else flows from it. And this is where AI comes in. Your LinkedIn post is a perspective pulled from the hub. Your email is a section reframed for subscribers. Your short form is the most counterintuitive line turned into a hook. AI doesn't create the hub, you do. AI repurposes the spokes. That is the division of labor that actually works. Now, most teams are using AI like a vending machine. Put a prompt in, get content out. The problem is that everyone is using the same vending machine with the same prompts and getting the same content. You don't want to be one of those teams. Avoid this by following Rule 12. Create an AI agent that knows your voice. It sounds complicated, but it's actually really easy. Here's exactly how I did it. Step 1, gather your most authentic content. So I pulled together a bunch of pieces of content that I created with no AI. A couple scripts, screenshots of reels and captions, past newsletters, recent stuff that sounds the most like me. That's gonna be your starting point too. Step 2, create a new project in the AI tool you use the most. I made a new Claude project, named it My Voice Agent, attached my content pieces as the reference material, and I also attached my brand guidelines. Step 3, write a voice brief. In the instructions section, I followed the riff framework from the free guide in the description. So for the role, I wrote it like I was casting an actor. A collaborator who knows exactly how Bridget thinks, speaks, and teaches. For the instructions, I wrote what it should do, and just as importantly, what it should never do. If I say bloopy instead of blooper, keep bloopy. And for the format, I noted how the output should look for each platform. I have specific instructions for YouTube scripts, LinkedIn posts, Instagram reels, newsletters, captions, each one formatted differently because they are different. You can get really granular here and it's totally worth it. You only have to build this once, so take your time on it, but it can always be edited later. Step 4, test it with your hub content. So I dropped in the script from my hub video and asked it to repurpose it into a LinkedIn newsletter. And honestly, it wasn't bad. You could already see it picking up the tone. Even gave me a few new day-to-day language staples. Skedaddle, ooh, keeping that. But it wasn't quite there yet, which is why step 5 is the most important. Step 5, refine. I looked at the output and I asked myself, does this sound like something I would actually say? And I wrote back and told it what I liked and what felt off. Really like skedaddle. Then I did a manual edit and added the things that only I would say. So a relevant story, a real take, or a classic Bridgetism. Okay, so this example right here, no way. I was gobsmacked, totally flabbergasted. I literally had A mentee B. That's more like it. And here is the trick. I pasted my final version back in and asked it to study the differences between what it wrote and what I changed, and prompted it to save the learnings to memory. Once I did this for all of my spokes, I asked it to rewrite the agent instructions based on what it learned, and then I replaced the old brief with the new one. Now, every round it gets closer, and that is how you build a voice agent that actually sounds like you over time. Every spoke you repurpose from your hub actually sounds like it came from you. If you follow this system, your brand is going to be the one in your industry that audiences trust when everything else sounds the same. The free Authentic AI content guide that I linked in the description goes deeper on the frameworks and the voice guide template. It's basically everything we just covered in one place, so I highly recommend downloading it. We have officially created the Authentic Content Rulebook. Here are the 12 rules that nobody has written until now. You're welcome. Take a screenshot of this or take a picture with your phone so that you can double check it before your next post. This is in your hands now. Make your brand a part of the internet that makes people feel something. That is the advantage. Now you know how to create authentic content, but you'll want to consume it too, right? One last rule, be part of the change. Share this video with your network so we can all get on the same page before the robots take over our feeds. Even more than they already have. If this video was useful, give it a like so I know. And if content marketing is moving way too fast for you to keep up with, because it is, subscribe to HubSpot Marketing for weekly videos and free resources to help your strategy stay ahead. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. My name is Bridget O'Rourke. Feel free to connect with me online, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.